All right. Echo Thief here, and I apologize for that little delay there. I was having a problem with the thumbnail there, but I think it'll be up and good to go momentarily. So we should be in good working order. Let me make sure my mic is working the way it's supposed to. It is. Good deal. All right, everyone, welcome to the stream. Echo Thief here. And we are going to go ahead and get right into it. As you guys know, as most of you know, we just saw the PlayStation 5 reveal, and I'm sure most of you have seen it already. I've got my let's switch up my socks here. I've got my official PlayStation socks here, as you can see. So I'm gonna wear these during the during the stream. So get my my geeky socks on, and we'll get right to it. And I know that a lot of you wanted to see The Evil Within. I want to play that too. However, we're playing that on Nightmare mode, which can be frustrating. Fun, but frustrating. And I didn't want to divulge all this information. Well, I didn't want to go over all my thoughts and details on the PlayStation stuff while being frustrated playing a game, and also trying to give an articulate, give my articulate thoughts on the PlayStation stuff, and also have this nagging, you know, frustration of getting to the next chapter in The Evil Within. So that's why I decided against that. I thought Predator Hunting Grounds, I'm familiar enough with it, and I'm familiar enough with the way that game plays, that I can not saying I can play on autopilot, but I can play that game and also have a discussion on something else entirely. And so I guess you could say it's kind of autopilot in a sense. But what I've done is I've just compiled a Word document that I have been working on for the past couple of hours. And again, I apologize for the delay in the stream. I just didn't want to start the stream unprepared when I still had a lot to say and digest from the reveal conference. And so I wanted to make sure that I had everything the way I wanted it and how I want to say it and present it. And so that's kind of the reason for that. So I know that a lot of people are in the UK, especially you, Katana. And I know it's late, or early, really. So I apologize that I had to wait a bit longer for the stream to start. But we're going to get right into it. So again, everyone, welcome to the stream. If you can, leave a like or subscribe. If you're liking what we do here, that does help tremendously with growing the community and making this an all-around better channel. So if you like what you're seeing here tonight, like and subscribe, and I can promise you I will always do my best to give you the best possible content that I can produce. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into things. Katana, are you with us, man? I see we have 3 watching here. Just want to make sure that we've got everyone in the at least somebody in the chat, right? Let's see here. Let me go ahead and blow up the chat so I can see it better. And all right, my wingman here, Katana, is with us. Those of you who don't know Katana, he's a real cool dude. He actually streams himself. He has his own channel where he streams things sometimes, and definitely give him a sub if you can. Very, very nice guy, and very, very, of course, very nice to be able to moderate the streams occasionally, which I really do appreciate. Yeah, a lot to digest. I agree. So, what we'll do, we'll start a game here soon, shortly, but I want to go ahead and jump right into it. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, some of which I expected to have thoughts about, and some of which I didn't. There's some surprises in there. But let's go right into that Word document that I made here, and we can get right into the details. So, the first thing they open with, which I thought was appropriate that they open with this, because it was they needed to get it out of the way, because it's not very important, I think, is they opened with GTA 5. And GTA 5 is a 6-year-old game. And for some reason, it has grown into this kind of niche market where the online service of GTA 5 is huge to that niche market. Now, of course, not everyone plays it, but that niche market are rabid fans of it and eat that stuff up. And what the announcement was, we're going to get it on PS5, and I believe it's going to come in packed in for free. I think that was the deal, was that they're packaging every PlayStation that's sold, you get GTA 5 with it. And then I think you get, 1 million GTA bucks or whatever it is, every month until the console releases. Which, for me, I could give a shit. I mean, I don't care at all about GTA 5 currency, which is a big selling factor for Rockstar makes a lot of money from that GTA currency stuff. So I guess if you are a fan of GTA and you're into that, and you're into that whole scene, I guess having 1 million, GTA Shark Bucks? Is that what it is? Shark Bucks? Getting that currency every month is cool, I guess. For me, it's a 6-year-old game. Everyone likes GTA. It's fun. It's fine. But we've been there, done that. It's nothing new. I don't really feel like there's a need to talk about it. So we'll move on from that. Not to say I don't like GTA. I like GTA just fine. I like Rockstar games just fine. I will go out and say that I'm not a big fan of. I was not a huge fan of Red Dead Redemption, only because I feel that style of game is very dated, where you have clunky controls in a big open world that is well designed, very impressive world design, but the gameplay is just sloppy, and they need to, if they're going to gain my attention and pique my interest, they're going to have to do some major overhauls into their design and their gameplay mechanics, because every Rockstar game now comes off as, great, beautiful open world, gameplay secondary, and that's just not for me. I need a game that doesn't need to look great, but it needs to have solid gameplay, and I don't think that Red Dead had that at all. I thought it was pretty actually sloppy, if you ask me. But again, that's just me. Next up, we got the Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Spider-Man has had a pretty good last couple of years with their PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. Did very well. People were very taken by it. I actually haven't got around to playing the PlayStation Spider-Man game, and I hate myself for it. But I haven't got around to it. I know it's like $20 now. I can get it pretty cheap, but I haven't got around to playing that yet, which I will. And I know it was a great success, and I know that Miles Morales is a very, very popular version, if you will, of Peter Parker. People love Miles Morales, so I think it's an obvious move for them to put Miles in the Peter Parker and Spider-Man character and bring him in. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man there, Katana? Are you a Marvel fan? Are you into Spider-Man games? I mean, for me, it's Spider-Man 2 is one of the best games I ever played when I was growing up. I love that game, and from what I understand, the last Spider-Man game really captured what that game did well, which is of course the swinging through New York, and you know, the feeling of being Spider-Man, which they nailed. So the fact that we're getting another Spider-Man game is great. I think it's cool. I think it's great that we have an exclusive. I think it's. I don't know if I like Miles Morales as Peter Parker, and not to come off as racist, even though this will come off as racist. I don't. I never found Miles Morales a very interesting character, to be honest with you, and I don't. The fact that they're putting Miles Morales in this game, I think, is a obvious evolution. I think it's almost expected at this point, but it's almost pandering. And what I mean by that is that, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. It's pandering to the African American movement and of sorts, of Black Lives Matter, of making sure that there's representation in gaming, which I think is fine. I'm not against that. I think I wish there didn't have to be representation. I wish that wasn't an issue in this country, of the U.S. that is, but it is. I mean, people do feel disenfranchised, and for good reason. There's this country is divided in so many ways, and the fact that there needs to be representation is sad. But I also feel that by making this move, it's a bit pedestrian, it's a bit expected, it's a bit safe. Anytime I see that happen in gaming or in film, it never comes off as sincere, and not because I don't think that African Americans deserve representation, but because it comes off as pedestrian and safe, and it's almost like they've got a gun to their head saying, hey, if you don't put an African American in a video game, or you don't put an African American in your next movie as a star role, you're going to be seen as a racist. And to me, that doesn't come off as sincere. That comes off as pandering. That comes off as playing it safe. And I think Katana can back me up on the fact that we both enjoy games and films that take risks. We were talking the other day about how The Evil Within 2 was playing things safe with a lot of the decisions they made with mechanics and story. And I agree with him. I like that game, and I think there's a lot of good things in that game. But they played things really safe, whereas the first game is very gritty, very real, very raw, very original, and it doesn't hold your hand with the story. You really have to kind of figure it out yourself as you go. That's kind of a weird comparison to compare to that to Miles Morales as Spider-Man, but I never like when a developer, publisher, film company, what have you, feel the need to give in to the pressures of, I guess you could say, politics. I mean, at this point. Not saying that I don't think that other races and other minorities don't deserve representation, but I think there's a way to do it that is subtler and that is, a bit less pushy, because I think when this happens, it comes off as insincere, and it comes off as, oh shit, we have to put this out because if we don't, we're gonna get shit for it, and that's never a good reason to tell a story. I went to a and I'll make this short because I know I'm going on a tangent on this, but I went to a panel in our local area, and we have a big film festival every year in our area in Northwest Arkansas, and it's actually headed by Gina Davis, actress Gina Davis. She's actually put the whole thing together every year, and she's brought a lot of great stuff to the area and a lot of great recognition. But the goal of that film festival has always been diversity, and I don't think that the story shouldn't serve diversity. Diversity should serve the story, meaning that let's not make a movie or a game because we need to have diversity. That's not a good story. That's a political agenda being or you can even say humanist agenda, being thrusted on you. Whereas what matters is a good story. If it happens to have a person of a certain minority or a certain race, that's fine. But it always, when this kind of stuff happens, it feels pushy. And I'm sure I'll catch flack for saying that. I don't really care. I've been open about my thoughts about things on Twitter and in other places, and I don't apologize for it. But might come off as racist. I'm not racist. I just feel like whenever I see bullshit, I call it, and I don't know. When I see bullshit, I'm just gonna call it how I see it. But that's just me. That's just me. It's the best Spider-Man game. Let's see. Oh, I gotta back up here. Katana says, well, I've just started playing Spider-Man on PS4, and honestly, I don't know why I waited so long. Great game. Best Spider-Man game since the second movie game tie-in. That's what I was talking about. Spider-Man 2 was one of my favorite games growing up, and I'm pinching myself as well that I haven't played. I haven't played the new game, so I'm right with you on that. It wasn't the only game that felt forced in that regard. Not sure how much I can or should say on the matter, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, another game that I felt was doing the same thing was Mafia 3. I didn't play Mafia 3, but I know enough about Mafia 3 to talk on it, I think. I know the story behind it. I know kind of the development cycle of that game and the story of that game, the narrative of that game, and you play as an African American. It's set during the civil rights movement. Fine, nothing wrong with that. But I wouldn't mind it if it didn't feel forced, and it felt forced. It felt like shit. If we make another game with a white guy in it, in the Mafia, we're gonna get slammed for it. So, I don't know. You can criticize me, it's fine. I just think that whenever I see bullshit, and insincerity, it turns me off. Basically, it just turns me off. But we'll move on from the politics. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone is completely welcome to express your opinions on this. Whether you don't agree with me or not, it's totally fine. You can express your opinion as long as you're not rude, crass, or bullying. I don't care. Everyone has the right to share their opinion. Everyone has their own truth. I fight for people to, not fight, but I would fight and I would die for people to shout their opinions that are opposite mine, because I think that's important. I think free speech is important. Another issue entirely. We'll move on from that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's next. Gran Turismo 7. Whatever. I'll read a little headline that I wrote. So, a new Gran Turismo in the works for PS5, and it features a campaign mode developed by Polyphony Digital. The racing simulator looks incredible, realistic, both in its vehicles and environments. My personal comments are not my jam, but I think that it's for a niche audience, and I think they're going to get the best Gran Turismo game they've probably ever had. I think we all know at this point that Gran Turismo is a pretty niche thing. There's nothing really, it's cars. And if you like cars, you like cars. And if you don't like cars, you don't like cars. And I'm not really a car guy, so I can't really speak on what this looks like to a car person. But to a gamer and to someone who knows the industry and knows that people who like cars love these games, and this kind of being the king of the car games, Gran Turismo, I think that it looks pretty cool. I mean, they've always been about realism. I mean, you go back into the PS1 days even with Gran Turismo 1 and 2, and the amount of customization you could do, the amount of the amount of different cars and parts you could use and all that kind of stuff, all of that was pretty fascinating back then, and it's only become more complex and interesting for people that like cars. So I think if you like cars, I think this is something that you're going to like. No question. And technology has really improved and pushed the boundaries of technological graphical fidelity, and I think that Gran Turismo's always been on the edge of that. They've always been in the front lines of technological improvements. Let's see here. Katana says, I'm not massively into racing, but I do love how GT is almost a measurement of how Gen improves each PlayStation. I love to not play but look at it. I agree. I think it's a fantastic looking series, and if you like cars and you're into that and it's your hobby, more power to you. I think this looks like a great addition to that franchise. Quick for a second, I'm gonna crack open this energy drink. Unfortunately, I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. I feel like it's cutting my head off a little bit. I don't have a Monster with me this evening. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go get a Monster, but in place of a Monster, what we have is Bang Energy. I don't know if you have this in the UK or not, Katana. Bang Energy is one we have in the US. It's relatively new, about 2 years old or so, or its popularity is about 2 years old. This one is Bang, potent brain and body fuel, cotton candy, natural flavors, 0 sugar, 0 calories, super creatine, ultra CoQ10, EAA aminos, all kinds of weird vitamins and shit. Let's see, 0 sugars, 0 calories, 0 artificial colors. How much caffeine is in this shit? I think it's a lot. My wife loves these. That's why I grabbed it, because I don't have anything else in the fridge right now. Too much caffeine may cause nervousness, irritability, sleeplessness, and occasionally rapid heartbeat. Not recommended for use by individuals under 18 years of age. One serving of Bang provides 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is more than two cups of coffee. Okay. Well, we're gonna crack this bad boy open. Cheers. I've always felt like it had a weird aftertaste. I don't know what it is about it. It's got a weird aftertaste. Whereas Monster always felt smooth to me, but whatever. It's caffeine. Cheers. All right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Katana. On my channel, I'll never sugarcoat anything as far as not saying something that I believe in, or expressing an opinion that I'm afraid of. I'm willing to take the heat. I'm willing to take the criticism. Fortunately, I'm not super popular right now, or I'm not, a YouTube star, if you will. So I don't really have much to be afraid of as far as getting attacked by people. But still, with the small community of people that we have in the Echo Thieves community, I open myself up to criticism, which is totally okay. I understand if you're upset by anything I say. That being said, I don't apologize for it. I just don't want to offend anybody, but I'm also not afraid to say what I mean and how I feel about things. That does not reflect how I feel about you as an audience. My thoughts don't reflect any ill will towards anybody that's in my Discord, that watches my channel. It's really opinions at large and about a much grander, bigger picture. But we'll move on from that. Let's take a look here. Alright, so we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. A new Ratchet and Clank game is let me go and expand this a little bit so I can, okay. How do I, there we go. It's over 210 size, my god, okay. Okay. A new Ratchet and Clank game is in development, and it looks like the heroes have found themselves in a universe with collapsing dimensions, futuristic cities, and dinosaurs. The demonstration featured gameplay and included a rain grinding section. I think I meant to put rail grinding section, and even a flight on an alien spacecraft. My thoughts on this Ratchet and Clank series has always been a really very cool, cartoony, almost Pixar-like graphical and platforming experience that's always been top notch. I haven't played all the Ratchet and Clank games, but I played enough to know that I like the Ratchet and Clank games. I think they're very cool. I think that you know, they offer people who like games, who like platforming, a unique spin, because you're not only jumping on, you know, platforms or grinding on rails, or you're, you know, doing all the kinds of stuff you do in platformers, but you also have a huge arsenal of weapons. And Insomniac games have always been about their crazy weapons. If you go back to Resistance, Fall of Man, those games were always big on their weapons design and you know, unique weapons. And Ratchet and Clank has that in spades. You know, there's a weapon that you can shoot that makes them vomit, or there's a weapon you can shoot that makes them do the disco. You know, there's crazy fun creative stuff that they've always put into their games. And I've always enjoyed the characters themselves. Much like Jak and Daxter, I like the dynamic between Ratchet and Clank, and I've always enjoyed the very, very sharp, clever writing. It's very quick-witted, it's very funny, and I think if you're a fan of platformers, this looks like something that I think will please you, especially if you're a fan of the series. I think it'll also make a perfect launch title. I think it'll make a great launch title if it does launch with the PlayStation 5, meaning that I could see it becoming bundled with one of the bundles they put out. You know what I mean? Seems like that kind of Sony exclusive to bundle with the package. I said I love the series. Always gravitated towards the Ratchet and Clank series, other than other platformers. I especially like that series more than Nintendo's flagship platformers like Mario. It's no secret, well, I don't think I've ever expressed it here before, but I'm not a big Mario fan. I'm not a big Nintendo fan. Never have been, really. Maybe back when I was really young, but I find way more creativity in games like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Spyro. Trying to think of other great ones too. Crash, Bandicoot, even Banjo-Kazooie, I guess you could say. But Banjo's kind of was a rare property that partnered with Nintendo. But I've never been a fan of Mario, and you know, it seems kind of, at this point, they haven't done anything with Mario that I've found interesting in a long time. But I think Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart looks like a great title, a great Sony title. Katana says some people have raved about how great. Let's see. Okay, Ratchet and Clank looked, and it really does, but it did on PS4 too. I didn't see a massive tech difference, which I guess is fine. Yeah, I agree. It's early days, and I know I don't think I saw anything in the showcase today that really blew me away graphically, and I don't think we will see anything that's going to blow us away graphically until much later. I think at least a year and a half into the PS5 cycle, that's when we're going to see a great leap. That's just what happens with new tech, new consoles. The first year is the developers trying to figure out how to use it, figuring out how to maximize and kind of wreak out every bit of excellence they can out of it, out of the machine, and out of the tech. So I think, you know, the first line of games will be quite similar to the look of PS4 games, slightly better, of course, but I think they're going to be very reminiscent to that look. So I think with time, of course, they'll you know, because you go back and look at the early PS4 games, and then look at something like Death Stranding, or look at something like even Sekiro, or God of War, the new God of War, or Uncharted. You know, well, maybe not Uncharted. Maybe I'm trying to think of like. Or Days Gone, you know, look at those games compared to the slew of launch titles like Wolfenstein and stuff like that. It's night and day difference. I mean, you would think they're different consoles, so that's just how that works. But yeah, I think it looks fine graphically. Nothing impressive, but you know, nothing terrible either. Next up, we have Project Athia. Square Enix and Luminous Productions premiered a game called Project Athia, which featured a werewolf-like creatures and flying sections. It will come exclusively to PS5. I said here, not impressed. Looks generic and shallow as a Square Enix title. When I play a Square Enix title, I'm not wanting to play something that is cartoony and generic and cute. When I play a Square Enix title, I want to play something that is original, deep, story-based, RPG-based usually. I don't want to play something that's been streamlined and stripped down to a kind of cutesy, generic story. That's what it looks like. It looks like a generic good versus evil thing, which can work in some games. But when I play a Square Enix game, I don't want that. I want a grand sweeping story, albeit Final Fantasy. Granted, Kingdom Hearts is an exception of something that's maybe kind of simple, but not even that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts, if you look at the lore, is very complex and goes very deep into some very, very complicated places. I'll say that. But I think Project Athia, from what I've seen so far, not impressed. I don't see anything here that cries out to me to play. I don't see anything here yet that impresses me. But that's just me. What are your thoughts on that, Katana? Next up, we have Stray. Annapurna Interactive revealed a robot. I think I said that right. Annapurna Interactive revealed a robot-focused game called Stray, set in a world where humans have died off. Cats, however, are still in abundance, and the robots appear to be replacing humanity in their old roles. It sports a neon-infused aesthetic. It's coming to PS5 in 2021. My notes on this: I can't tell what kind of game this is going to be because we're not seeing gameplay. We're seeing obviously a cutscene, so I can't tell what kind of game it's going to be. Could be a platformer. Could also be a story-based game with little gameplay. But it could be anything really. Whatever it is though, I am interested in it. I love the art design. I love the Neon City look, and I think whatever it is, we're gonna have a very cool story on our hands, and we're gonna have something very special from what I've seen. It could be a bomb, who knows? But initial impressions are, from me, thumbs up. I think it looks creative. It looks interesting. It looks playful, but not too kiddie, not too kid friendly. It looks like it could go to some dark places. But I think I'm thinking we're looking at a platformer. But then again, I don't know. We at this point know very little information. So Square Enix tend to give a lot of bang for your buck. I think it will be a deep universe, but with how little was shown of how it plays, it's difficult to say. Yeah, again, a lot of these, we just don't know enough. And that is what it is. But I'll do one more, and then we'll take a break from reading this, and we'll go into some gameplay here. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and set up one. Let's look at our daily challenges. Kill NPC soldiers, fire team. Oh, that's pretty easy. 50. Do 50 of those. Weekly challenge. Inflict damage to predator. Okie dokie. Got 2 days left on that. Show you guys my new predator design that I've put together. This armor here for my tank was one of the ones that costed 25,000 Veritanium, which is that's the currency in the game that you earn from playing. It took me a long time to get that much currency, but I'm pleased with the design that I came up with for this predator. But I think I'm gonna do one more thing here with him. I'm gonna change his skin tone, I think, a little bit. Let's see here, guys. Definitely go dark, but how dark, I don't know. I've got the gator design on now. Raptor. Yeah, I like the raptor design quite a bit. Probably do that, actually. And we'll just get right into a Predator game. Let's see, Predator. Okay. Back to the chat. Yep, I'm saving that for last. I know exactly what you're talking about. Katana says, you know what I'm dying to talk about, but I have to be patient. Time will come. Yes, it will. I've got lots and lots and lots to say about that. So, I promise we'll get to that. But I'm going in the order of which it was shown, and what you're talking about, which we all know is Resident Evil 8 Village, was one of the last things shown. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But we'll play some Hunting Grounds and get to that. Let's see here. I want to change the lighting. It's a little dark in here. I don't like that. I need to get a new lighting situation here. I've got the Philips Hue set up, but I feel like I need more of them because the lights don't give off enough light. They're really great with the kinds of colors they can produce, but I need more of them in order to gain more of a brightness, I think, because I've only got 3 in here, and that's not enough to make it do what I want it to. Let's see, it's Jasmine Night. That's that one. I was trying to set up one that looked kind of that looked PlayStation-esque, you know, but I couldn't really come to a with the blues, but I couldn't find a suitable lighting situation that made it look PlayStation-y. Again, they just don't give enough light. But I think we'll go with something like this for a while. See what that does for us. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I think we lost some people because people were flooding into the chat, and I think they left when they realized that all I was doing was talking. So maybe they'll come back. All right, let's get into some gameplay, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is the Echo Thief. We are playing Predator Hunting Grounds. I'm about to get on some action with my new Predator here, my Berserker character. And I'm gonna mute all of you fuckers. We're gonna get into some Predator action here. It's a little bright. All right, guys, let's do this. This is my new armor suit here that I got. Now I can work on buying some cool mandibles and stuff. Not mandibles, predlocks they've been called in this game, which I think is ridiculous sounding, but also I need to collect the trophies. Excuse me, not PlayStation trophies, but trophies you gain from the game. You get them from using your Veritanium currency to unbox these things, and you can get these like Bobcat trophies and all kinds of cool stuff. They should be coming around the corner, right? I think I know where they are. Man, Katana, I want you to get this game so we can play together, man. Promise I'll use the leave no man behind mentality. I won't leave you dying. But when this goes on sale for like $20, I'm buying it for you, dude, because it'd be fun as hell to play with you. Alright, where are they? Not over there. Wow. They nailed the sound effects in this game. They really did. So they're not there. Dude, I think we'd have a blast playing this on Fire Team. I think you'd like playing as a Predator too, honestly. Yep, there they are. We're gonna go ahead and try to spook them out. Oh, you fuckers. Oh, that was a direct hit, dude. That was sick. Get out of here. Gotta move. Oh, do you now? Not dead yet, bitches. Woo! Oh shit. Is he dead? Oh yeah, he's dead. Okay. I want to make sure they didn't pick him back up. Need to find me a pig to slaughter so I can get some health. Is that pig down there? I think it is. I think it is. No, it's a tree. Shit. Okay, let's find a pig. Over there, it looks like, huh? Okay. Alright. Man, go over there to get the fucking pig. Stop that. Quit dicking about. Not out of the hunting grounds. You kidding me? What the hell is this? Concrete jungle, yeah. Game's fucking dope. It's clunky as hell by today's standards, but it's pretty great. Man, I wish you could play that on the PS4. But I think at this point, the best place to play it on is PC, I would imagine. By an emulator. Alright, they're gonna go try to get their buddy back. So I gotta make sure that I don't do that. Where did you guys go next? Probably over here. Let's see. Yep, I think I hear them. Yep, there they are. Ah, fuck. Terrible. Oh, gotcha, I think. Did I get him? Yep. Yeah, almost made this shit. Come on, let's go, buddy. Let's get him. Woo! Didn't really have damage to me. Hey, buddy. Oh man, too narrow. All right. Good first match, I'd say. Woo! Susie. Wish you could get more Veritanium from doing that. From playing as Predator. You get the most Veritanium from playing as a fire team. 1 second, guys. Yeah, there was a lot of customization in Concrete Jungle. There certainly was. This is the biggest bag I've ever seen at Panera Bread. This is a side item. Wife just got home, and this is a side. It's a place called Panera Bread. I used to work at one actually when I was a teenager, and they've got really great sandwiches, salads, danishes, bagels. They've got soups. They've got coffee, tea. It's a really cool like bakery style place, and really good food. I don't know if you guys have them in the UK. I doubt it, but I hope you guys get it one day. I'm sure you guys have better places, though. This is the American version of what you probably have every day. Well, let's get back into the PS5 stuff, guys. Okay, so next on the list is a game called Returnal. A new franchise from Sony was shown during the event. Developed by formerly arcade-focused House Marquee, Returnal features a crash landing on an alien planet where the protagonist keeps reliving the same events, including her death, over and over again. The planet, however, changes over time. Also, she dies. Oh, no, excuse me. The planet, however, changes every time she dies. Okay, I'm a bit mixed on this. So the storyline seems a little cliche in the sense we've seen movies, books, and TV shows explore the idea of dying over and over and over again and then reliving those same events to try to change the outcome in science fiction. It's not new. However, I'm a sucker for sci-fi, so I'll give anything a chance. If it's sci-fi, really, and this looks like something that I'd be interested in. I love the fact that they're using an older female as a protagonist, and in this, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like they're forcing anything. I think it seems like a natural kind of thing by using an older protagonist, almost risky, not safe by doing that. These days, it's usually a young protagonist, but I think it's cool they're using an older protagonist female as the lead, and I think that it looks really neat. Has a cool sci-fi look. I think it'll grip me, especially with the character. I've actually been preferring a female protag in games lately, and I think this one looks very non-generic in the sense that her character looks non-generic. The story might be generic, but her character looks non-generic. Honestly, the lady sounded like Sigourney Weaver to me. Yeah, I can see that. I actually got kind of a Ripley vibe from her character, actually. But I think that one looks unique. I'll definitely be picking that one up, I think. Next is Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Developed by Sumo Digital, Sackboy: A Big Adventure is the latest game in the Little Big Planet franchise. It features action-oriented gameplay and 3D platforming rather than the 2D from the last 3 games. Go ahead and mix this up. So, Little Big Planet has never been my cup of tea. It's not really my style or genre of game. But I think that fans of the franchise, Little Big Planet and Sackboy, I think that they'll be pleased with what's on show here. It's kind of, I've never been a fan of the make your own fun style of games, but I think if you like that kind of thing, if you like Little Big Planet, if you like what's that new one that came out, Dreams, if you like Super Mario Maker, if you like those kind of games, I think this will probably scratch that itch. And I highly doubt, I think out of all the games, this one has the most the least chance of failing, because this is one of Sony's flagship games or franchises. And I mean, Sackboy's kind of a mascot for PlayStation at this point, and I think that there's not really a big chance this is gonna fail. I think this is gonna be pretty successful. So I think if you're a fan of the franchise and you're a fan of that kind of create your own fun, creativity-based game, I think that this will be good. I think it'll be a good addition to the Sackboy, the Chronicles of Sackboy, if you will. Honestly, I was always too lazy to get into the super creative side of Little Big Planet. I did love its eye-popping graphics and charm, though. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm the same way. When I play a video game, I kind of like the video games to do most of the work for me in terms of the fun aspect. I mean, like, I like getting involved in a game. I like, customizing my character, and I like leveling my shit up, and I like all of that. But I'm not really into making, level makers, or designing my own game within a game, because it seems like a kind of a cheap way to make a game that's not really that dynamic, anyways. So, but still, I think if you like that kind of thing, I think the closest I ever got to doing something like that was in Doom 2016 with the oh shit, what's it called? The don't correct me, Katana, I know you're thinking of it. It's the oh fuck, what is it? It's not Map Maker, but it's like Snap Map. That's the closest I ever came to getting involved in anything like that, and even that I was kind of bored of pretty quick. So, but I mean, not my kind of game, but I think this will be very, very interesting and fun for people who like that franchise. Up next, we've got Destruction All-Stars. Loose Games premiered an action sports game called Destruction All-Stars during the event, featuring destructible vehicles as well as on-foot characters. It looks to be a demolition derby taken to the absolute limit, with impressive particle effects and physics. So, this to me looks like an evolution of something like Rocket League, or any game that's kind of similar, that has kind of that sports, that kind of play on sports kind of thing, where they kind of twist things around in sports and make it their own unique thing, their own unique sport. I am excited about this kind of, because I never actually played Rocket League, and I'm not a big sports guy in general outside of gaming. I mean, I don't like sports really at all. But if a sports game was going to sell me, it would be something like this, that takes elements from different sports and combines them into this cool kind of unique package, action-based package. And this looks very action-based, which is cool. Most of the sports I think look coolest are like, you know, in movies, like this wasn't a good movie, but Rollerball, or in Elite to Battle Angel, there was Motorball, which I thought looked really cool. So most of the sports I think look cool are the ones that aren't sports at all in real life. But this looks like a really cool play on sports that could be pretty creative and interesting. So I'm actually excited for this because I haven't played a sports, I guess you could call it a fictionalized sports game before. And I think this looks very interesting. It also looks like it's going to have kind of a hero-based character roster, much like Overwatch or even Rainbow Six Siege, where you kind of each character has their own traits and their own unique personality and their own attributes. And I think this might be something like that. I hope it is, because it looks like it might be something like that. So I think I'm willing to give this one a shot. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be kind of cool to see what this is like. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. Secret Santa said, yeah, I like sports with sci-fi flair, but this game didn't interest me personally. Yeah, I get it. I get it completely. Again, this isn't going to be a day one for me or anything. I'm not going to purchase it day one. I'm going to wait for the reviews to come out. But, I mean, if I were to play a sports game, it would be something like this rather than 2K, you know, or FIFA or whatever, you know. And I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. 2K, whatever. I got a buddy of mine loves 2K. He's a big basketball fan. He's my best buddy here locally, and he loves 2K. So I'm happy for him, because I know this looks really exciting for him. But, you know, sports games are kind of like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, but even more the same. So it's like you get one annually, you get one every year, and they change very little. You know, 2K19 versus 2K20, there's not much of a difference. But you know, I think what they mainly do, from what I understand, is they up the roster of the players. They update the roster and they make some balancing changes and call it a day and release the game for a full price, which I think is kind of ripping people off. But I mean, no, 2K is not my thing. If you're into sports for basketball, awesome. I hope this is everything you want it to be. But aside from that, I can't really comment on it. This server looks like it's fucked up. It's got a lot of gluten in it. It's not good for my allergies. Hi, honey. Are you leaving? When are you coming home?
By 10. Probably not gonna get the full. It's only 75 degrees.
Is Jackson there? Tell him to look at the 2K trailer. Basketball.
Is it different?
Well, there's a new one coming out next year.
From Hell? 3 from Hell?
No, 2K, the basketball game. We're covering the PlayStation stuff, and they released a trailer for the new 2K basketball game.
Oh.
Just tell them about it. Tell them to watch the trailer.
Then I could go be a CPA.
Yeah, I told him not to move into the tennis house or the tennis club.
I told him to move in.
I said, dude, no, because they'll never leave.
You think so?
Yeah, I know him. He'll be like, oh, this is great. It's comfortable, and you know, and.
No, I think he'll feel like Gary the tennis coach.
But maybe that's not. Maybe he wants that, because that's his like backup plan.
Look, she's making me think I shouldn't go.
Susie, I'm still here. Your daddy's still here. Come here. She's like, I want mama.
So you're great, bud.
That's my wife, my dogs. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Destruction All Stars. So, yeah, I think it looks interesting. Next game on the list here is Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, an adorable adventure game developed by Ember Lab. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits features a Pixar-like visual, magical abilities and enemies, platforming, and discovery will play a major role, as will herding up small, cute creatures. There will also be dangerous monsters that stand in your way. My notes on this are: not a fan of the cutesy art design and simplistic gameplay, but I'm sure it will please some fans. With something like this, you know, I'm in general not a fan of, you know, that kind of art style. I think there was a time and a place where that worked in gaming, or maybe not. Maybe it's just it's a preference, personal preference, which it probably is. I think it still works for people, but for me, that kind of oversimplified story, oversimplified character, oversimplified gameplay, which is what this looks like. I could be wrong, but that's what this looks like. I don't think this is for me. But I think that, hey, you know, if they've got great artists involved and they've got some fun mechanics and they've got a fun story, this could be a fun game for people who like that kind of thing. Platformers are a bit weird for me, because while on one hand I like games like Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter because they have so much personality and they have so much charisma and energy, but then when I see a game like this, I'm not sure if it's going to have the level of care and craft and, you know, quick, clever writing and things like that those other games have. You have to sell me on that part if you're going to get me to like the game. But yeah, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits looks interesting. Up next is Goodbye Volcano High. And I must have missed this trailer. I don't know. Is this the one that was developed by the people that made Journey? I can't remember if this is that one or not. Anyways, I did write, starring fantasy creatures in a hand-drawn art style, Goodbye Volcano High is an emotional game set in the end of an era. It will arrive in 2021. It will also features unique and indie-style soundtrack. The trailer's accurate. Yeah, I remember this now. So this one has the unique art design that's quite similar to Journey, I think. Or no, maybe it's not Journey. Maybe it's hold on, dog. It's similar to, I can't think of the name of the game right now. Falcor. Hey, quit. It's the one with oh shit! It's the one with the goat-looking guys in the woods. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's the same people that made that, I think. Although we'll check that in a little bit. But anyway, it looks interesting. Unique art design. And these artsy kind of games aren't really my thing. You know, I think they have their fan base. But artsy, the problem I have with these artsy, I shouldn't say artsy fartsy games, which is what they are. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is what they are. Problem I have with those kinds of games is that they value design and artistic expression over gameplay, and I think for some people that's what they want, and it's not challenging, it's more of an experience, and I get that. But for me, I need a game that is interesting with gameplay, and hopefully it has other artistic design choices that are interesting, but it's not something that I really am after when looking for a new game to play. Alright, so that was Goodbye Volcano High. Looks like it could be up your alley if you're into that kind of thing. If you like that kind of artistic storybook, I guess you could say, style game. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Katana? What do you think about that kind of stuff? Let's get another win, guys. Let's get another win. Everyone, welcome to the stream. This is the Echo Thief here. We are playing Predator Hunting Grounds, while we are also discussing the PlayStation 5 reveal. And lots to go over. Lots of stuff to go over. We haven't even gone over the actual specs and what we know about it, which is very little still. But we'll go over that here in a little bit. All right, let's do some damage. So did Dara not want to watch Predator Hunting Grounds? You think, Katana? I think he was dead set on me playing Evil Within tonight. Oh, there's one. Uh-oh. Oh, hell yeah. Fucking slaughter, dude. Holy shit. Gotta go. Damn, I got a little cocky there, didn't I? Got a little bit cocky. Come on, buddy, let's go. Says sometimes I feel forced to this style just for the sake of being indie. I don't know, it may have been. And you get one time, but looking at today feels bland. I'm with you, man. I agree. It's like, be artsy fartsy if you wanna, and do that indie kind of thing if you want. That's fine. People like that stuff, I guess, but it's not for me. It's not for me. But the good thing about gaming is that there's a market for everyone. And I think that's very important in gaming, that you really can find what your taste is in gaming. Quality is a different thing entirely, and you can't really judge quality based on trailers. So I can only judge, what I think looks good and bad, but did I hit him? Gotcha. Quick claim him. What the fuck, are you serious? Quick, clan, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Need to find me a fucking pig. Over here. There we go. There's one over here. Also a person that way too, I think. Where's that pig at? Here he is. Hey, bud. Come here, you fucker! fucking pig there you are, you motherfucker. Whoa! Hey there, buddy. Hey, pal. Woo! There's usually a pig over here somewhere. Usually. Ah, fuck, I'll just use this. Save time. But yeah, I'm right with you on that, Katana. I mean, you spoke my mind, really. Uh-oh! 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 You can go to hell. You know what? You know what? You serious? You motherfucker! Uh-uh. That's not how this is going down. You can go to hell. You can go to hell. Mm-mm-mm. You motherfucker. Arnold. You bitch! You bitch! Oh my god! You son of a bitch! God, what a little pussy. Nope. No loyalty. No respect. My goodness. I didn't kill anybody, did I? I killed 2 people, but the other 2 got away. Those assholes. Oh well. Parkour. I'm sorry guys, I'm being incredibly rude eating like this. Okay. Up next is Oddworld Soulstorm. Oddworld Soulstorm was shown during the event. This game has been in development for years and will now release on the PS5. However, the new technology hasn't compromised the series' classic character designs or sense of humor, though it does look surprisingly dark and intense. I don't know what your experience with the Oddworld games is, Katana and rest of chat. My experience began on the PS1. I had a buddy that basically got every new game that came out. He was a big PlayStation guy and got me really interested in PlayStation when I was a kid. And he had the first Oddworld game. Which was it Abe's Odyssey? Was that the first one? Or was that a sequel? But I remember playing Abe's Odyssey a lot when I was a kid with my friend Corey. And again, he had every fucking, not every game, but he had a lot of PlayStation games, and he would buy them day one. I mean, this kid had awesome parents, I'll tell you that. And they're still friends of my parents and things, and so we still talk to him a lot. But anyways, he played it a lot. I was always watching him play it at his house, and I could play it eventually. And I always thought it was very unique, not only in of course aesthetic and style and art, and the amount of craft that went into designing each of these backgrounds. Because really the game was a 2D platformer with puzzles with very, very detailed backgrounds. And I was always taken aback by that and how cool that looked. But gameplay-wise, it's also very neat because, it combined things like Lemmings and Prince of Persia and other puzzle-based games that into one thing that became something really cool. I think Oddworld kind of lost its footing when they entered the 3D realm with, what was it, Wrath of, the Stranger's Wrath, was it? I was never a big fan of that one. But it was also very funny, very, very original and quick-witted, very good sense of humor. So I think this looks very cool. I think the thing they show is very, very well designed, well constructed cinematics they showed. So I'll buy this in a heartbeat, I think, too. I think Oddworld's a highly underrated series, and I can't believe it's taken this long to get a new one. But glad we are. Definitely glad we are. Let's go and load another game here. So I can get my revenge. Revenga. Yeah, it ticks all your boxes. Yeah, for me too, man. I think it looks great. Next game I have on here is Ghostwire Tokyo. I know that Katana, I'm sure, has a lot of thoughts on this one. Now, I've got mixed thoughts on this, I'll be honest. I like the idea. I like the design. I like the fact that it's in Tokyo. I like the fact that it has a lot of paranormal type aesthetics and story beats to it. It looks. And oh man. And again, guys, these reveal trailers are never enough to gain any sense of critique in terms of whether I think it's good or bad. I only have first impressions to look after. That's all I have. I can't say these things with confidence, aside from the first thing I said about Spider-Man, with confidence in terms of whether I think it's going to be good or bad, because I just don't know. You just don't know, because you're given so little information, you're given so little gameplay, you're given so little to work with, that it would be criminal of me to say, I think it looks terrible, I think it's going to be shit, because you don't know. Same thing if you want to say something looks good. You don't know. Let's see, Katana says, was not a fan of the art direction. I think there'll be a lot of cool Japanese, and it, what was that, is it yukai? Is that how you say it, Katana? Yukai? Enemies, etc., but they don't seem as effective. They look almost cel-shaded. I want group my survival horror. Yeah, it looks surprisingly cartoony. And I wasn't a fan of that. I guess when I say design, what I mean is I'm a fan of... Originally, I was a fan of the design. From what I heard, from word of mouth, and from what I heard from reading about it, on paper, it sounded interesting, with there being a Tokyo-based video game, you know, set in Tokyo with a heavy emphasis on paranormal. I mean, I guess you could call it paranormal attacks. I thought the title's cool as fuck too. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Ghostwire Tokyo, it sounds fucking dope. But when I watched the gameplay, all I could think about when I was watching the gameplay was that it looked like a VR game. It looked like a game where you're first person and you have like a handful of abilities that you can use, but you're fighting the same enemies over and over again. It seems like it can be a short game, like a 5-hour game is what it looks like. And all I could think of was it looked like a VR game. It looked like the kind of game that you play on the VR, where you've got, over characterized visuals, where there's not a lot of detail. It's all just kind of like big shapes and things in front of you, and which is what VR games kind of end up looking like. They end up looking like they're never very detail oriented. They're always very like, here's a monster, and here's the area you go towards, and here's the directional where you're supposed to go, and then here's a couple enemies that you fight throughout the game. It's all very simplified, and it looks like a VR game. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's going to be a VR game. I doubt it. I mean, I don't think they were planning on that, but that's what it looks like. And it looks very simplistic, and it looks very not taking itself seriously to the point where it's almost comical. And I never thought that's what this game was supposed to be. But I'll let you share your thoughts on this, Katana, because I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed by what I saw, really. They kept showing the same enemy over and over again. It was that Slenderman guy with the Slenderman looking guy with the umbrella. They kept showing him over and over again. It's like, why are they showing this guy? Which made me think that it was an enemy that you'll come across multiple times. So that's just me, though. Let's see what Katana says here. I just hope it's not Mikami forcefully stressing how versatile he can be. If it is his heart or his creative juices flow too, that will remain positive. the guy is a horror genius. I agree. I'm with you. I mean, Shinji Mikami is amazing. He's made mistakes in the past sometimes, but I mean, in my opinion. But you know, I think overall, I think he's probably one of the greatest influences in horror and gaming ever. But this does not look like something that I'm impressed with so far. I am not impressed. I gotta use these. I keep forgetting to use these motion detectors. Woo!
Hey, we're being tracked.
I can hear them. Hey, you guys can hear you guys. I can hear your mics. Might want to mute yourselves. Hey, JC, how's it going, man?
I got y'all's back. Come on. I'm waiting on y'all.
What am I looking at? Right over here!
Alright, let's go. I got you, Dutch.
Be kind of quiet because I don't want them to hear me.
Wait, is this much fast? Oh wow, that fucking maintenance. They fixed a lot of shit.
Oh, great. He hasn't played the game since the update, so he's probably going to be shoddy at best.
Move. Get me up. I'm not.
Got him. From the feed. Yeah, same here, JC. Getting that shit no matter what. Now I gotta make sure these guys don't escape. So I want to make sure that they don't reinforce their dudes. These guys are fucking noobs. Where's the other guy at? Where's he at? Are they drifted apart?
Krovic. That's alright. I'll be revived.
Where's this last guy at? Gotta find his ass. There he is. Can't let him do reinforcements. That's alright, you revived my ass. Alright, where are you, motherfucker? Where's he at? He's up here, isn't he? Oh, okay. Well, so you want to play it? Where is he? Oh, it was a fake motion thing. Fuck! Call reinforcement. Motherfucker! Motherfucker! I knew he was over there. That's it. I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. How's it going, JC? Do you like the like Predator? I know where you guys are, you motherfuckers. Where'd they go? That's a fake motion thing, I think. He's playing it smart. Where did this fucking asshole go? Come on, guys. The fuck? Okay. Alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. Keep calm, keep calm. Uh-huh. Haha.
Hey, watch out, there's a trap up there. Trap right there.
Throwing flash.
Damn it, why didn't I do a fucking quick... God damn it. It's so stupid. Doesn't work half the time. So dumb. I don't think so, bitch.
Alright, we need to go.
Okay, let's find a pig. That's what we need right now is a pig. I'll call the helicopter any second now. I heard that shit.
Throwing flash.
Come on, Predator. Come on. Oh shit. Hey man, watch out. Watch out, he's coming for us. Dang. Fuck him up, fuck him up, fuck him up. Harry.
Woo!
GG.
Again, guys. Again, guys.
How did I... Okay.
$10,000 XP. Done better. I've done better. But it was a good match, though. Good game, though. It's tense. Look at router, huh? Alright. Let's take a look at where we're at now in the list here. Jet Far Shore, developed by the Super Brothers. Jet, the Far Shore, was shown during the reveal event. The world is shown as dreary, but a rocket fires into space and shows a series of satellites that appear to hold some sort of future for the planet. Hundreds of years later, a small ship flies to a much more vibrant land. Looks fine. There's just not enough, I don't think, that I can go off of here. Of course, I like anything that deals with space travel, new planets, things like that. But I don't really have a lot to say on this one. There just wasn't enough shown for me to really get into what they were going for. I'm just gonna kind of go over some of these games I don't really think are that important, such as Astro's Playroom. I mean, come on, guys, Astro's Playroom is just like a tech demo for the PlayStation. Which is, you know, they had it on the VR, they had it on the regular PlayStation, and it's just a way to show off the controller and what it can do, or show off what the VR can do, things like that. So, you know, I think it'll be fine. It'll be a good introduction to what the machine can do. I like the character of Astro. I've always thought that was kind of cute and funny. So I'm cool with that. Let's see. We've got Godfall. This was first shown several months ago, demonstrated again during the event. It features intense melee combat using a variety of weapons, as well as supernatural and science fiction elements. You'll be able to unlock godlike armor to defeat powerful foes. It'll be out this holiday season. Now, I think Godfall looks like shit. I'll just go out and say it. I never thought this game looked cool. I've never thought this game looked good. I think it looks janky as hell. I think it looks ugly, designed and graphically. And I know that a few of my friends that do a podcast on Anthem are really excited about this one, which is fine. They have their own interests and things. And I think if they think it looks good, I hope it's good. But from what I'm seeing here, and the gameplay that I'm seeing here, I think it looks janky, ugly, and I think it's gonna flop. I think it's gonna be a big flop. But that's just me. I don't know the studio that made this game. Do we know? It's a free game with every PS5. Yeah, Astrobot looks like knack. Yeah, I can see that. It'll be a fun little waste of time, but it should be cute and fun to play, just to kind of introduce yourself to the PlayStation. Which is what Astro's always been about. It's always been about, you know, introducing you to the PlayStation's mechanics. Well, not mechanics, but the playroom. You know, like the there's always been a playroom with the VR and with the PlayStation. So it's just a way to kind of get you familiar with what the PS5 can do, and it's kind of a you know, a showcase kind of thing. To me, Godfall seemed like a sword version of Anthem. I can see it being an addictive loot-based game. Honestly, I thought the gameplay looked smooth. Gears Software made it. Well, I don't know. I love Anthem. Anthem's a big mess too, though. But Anthem is one of those games. I'll make this brief so I can go on a tangent on it. Anthem's one of those games that checks every single box that I've ever had with games. Aesthetically, gameplay, story, atmosphere, characters. It has everything in a game that I want. However, of course, we all know the problem with Anthem is the lack of content. And we all know that they're making 2.0, so fingers crossed that they resurrect Anthem and it becomes the best thing ever. I'll be the first one to be there to give my thoughts and be the first one to play it. So I'm excited about that. Godfall, on the other hand, looks like a mess. I think the gameplay looks shoddy and inconsistent. And I think that... Now, I'll go ahead and say this. I'm not a big fan of... I'm not the biggest fan of gameplay that is like hack and slash, I guess you could say. I mean, I like some hack and slash games, but at this point, I don't like medieval mixed with fantasy really that much as an aesthetic. And I don't think that this looks very modern. I mean, we've seen games like this before. But I could be totally wrong. I mean, again, these games, we're seeing very little of them. We can't really judge them too harshly. These are just first impressions, and I think this looks like a game that I will not be interested in. However, I'll track its development. I'll track its previews and the gameplay, and track it and see, if my mind changes. But I have friends that are very much excited about this. I'm sure they'll tell me the truth on what they think about it. So, hope it's good. Up next... Bugsnax. Charming game featuring Steve Irwin-style wildlife expert. Bugsnax is from the creators of Octodad. Creatures are a mix of bugs and snacks, such as burgers and strawberries. It looks like an incredibly bizarre, to say the least. It'll be out this holiday season. My notes on this are, looks very unique and engaging, especially for young people. Could make for a great introduction to games for young gamers. It looks like a very, very fun way for maybe a father or mother to bond with her child with a video game. If, let's say, your kid is interested in games and you're a gamer, I think it could be a kind of a family-oriented thing where it can kind of bring people together. It looks like there might be kind of a co-op esque kind of thing going on there with the game, possibly. It looks pretty funny too. It looks like it has a good sense of humor. Again, these kind of games aren't really for me necessarily, but I can see their appeal and I can see their potential for being good for families and good for young people, and maybe old people too. Maybe I'll like it. I doubt that I'll pay money for it, but we'll see. It looks like a very cute, charming game, and I hope that it is what I think it is, which is I think it could be a good introduction game for children to get into gaming, which I think we need more of in this industry. I think this industry needs more games that are geared towards children to introduce them to gaming, because right now I think we don't have enough of that. We don't have enough games that are geared towards children to get them into gaming and ease them into the gaming universe. I mean, the Lego games are great for that. I guess you could say that Animal Crossing is also good for that as well. But I'm always excited to see games like this come out, because I think that they could be a really good way for kids to get into gaming. So that's just what I think about it. I'll skip over Demon Souls. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts on Demon Souls and Dark Souls is. I've never played Demon Souls. I never played Dark Souls. I played Bloodborne, and I've played Sekiro. So that's my extent with Souls, or they call them Soulsborne games. I don't have a long history with those games, so I can't really speak on it. But I know that Demon Souls was the first From Software game before Dark Souls. It was the spiritual successor. and it was the thing that started it all. And so this looks like a redesign or a HD remake, or I guess you could call it a. They're saying it's a complete overhaul. From Software's masterpiece has been completely overhauled, and looks like it was created specifically for the PS5. Cool. If I play this, it'll be my first introduction into the Souls franchise, aside from Bloodborne and Sekiro. So I think this would be maybe a good place to start. I'm sure that fans of Dark Souls and Demon Souls are stoked about this, and they should be. People love these games, and I'm glad to see that it's making the jump very, very quickly to the next generation console. Deathloop. Arcane Studios presented its game Deathloop. During the event, which was first shown at E3 2019, assassins are engaged in an ongoing duel, and it retains the studio's first-person stealth. However, things go awful and require plenty of firepower. Things go haywire, and require plenty of firepower, and you can restart the loop to rectify things. This looks to me kind of like a mixture between the art style of We Happy Few and Dishonored. It's got a very kind of not cel-shaded, but rotoscoped kind of cartoon meets reality kind of look, and almost kind of like actually BioShock meets. You could say BioShock meets We Happy Few meets Dishonored kind of look. Kind of non-detailed, but over-exaggerated caricatures of people and character designs, which could be fun. Yeah, I hope that it's good. I hope it's got, Katana saying Deathloop looks like one of the only other FPS aside from Doom where it feels 100% fluid, very fast-paced. Definitely going to pick it up. It's got that Tarantino Western meets samurai feel to it, which I think is cool. And I think you're right about the fluidity of it, because from what I've seen in the gameplay, you're moving very fast, like you're skating almost. You're skating through the environment, and you're using a power to shoot someone in the air. You've got guns, and it looks very like with Doom. It feels very it's like a dance. It's a dance of movement, and it's almost rhythm based the way that Doom works, and this looks similar to that, where it's got kind of that rhythmic first person shooter quality. So hopefully this will be interesting. I think it'll be interesting nonetheless. Hopefully it's good, but I think that people have a lot to look forward to with this game, and I think it does look like a very unique style, and yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on this one for sure. Alright, we've come to some of the last games here. We've got Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. Forbidden West was initially shown during the show, with protagonist Aloy narrating a trailer that featured impressive environments and interesting fauna. A plague appears to be causing the local wildlife to die off. She must race to discover what is causing it before it's too late. She will be able to explore underwater and discover secrets beneath the surface. Horizon is kind of becoming a Sony powerhouse franchise, or a character, at least with Aloy. And I think Horizon is making all the right moves with this. I think that it's time for a sequel. I think it's a perfect time for a sequel for this game. I think that Aloy is a very cool character. She's become kind of a flagship character alongside Sackboy and other exclusive characters of Sony. And I think she fits right in. I think it'll need to do a lot more with gameplay, though, to separate itself from the repetitive gameplay of the first one. I like Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and there's a lot of fun to be had in that game. But at a certain point in that game, it becomes a little bit too repetitive, meaning that you get this rinse and repeat cycle in a game like that, where in a game like Anthem, or in a game like Destiny, like that kind of rinse and repeat thing is what you do. That's part of the game, and getting new weapons and upgrades and getting new armor, all that kind of stuff. That's just part of the game. and that makes sense for that universe and that gameplay style. For this, though, when you're having more of like a Zelda-type game, where you've got puzzles and you've got action, you need to keep things a bit more fresh. And I think midway through Horizon Zero Dawn, I felt a little bit, just a little bit repetitive in nature, and I thought it needed to do a few new things to make it interesting. But I think this is the right move for the franchise. I think it's time for a sequel. I think people want a sequel. I think I like Aloy as a character. I'm excited to see what happens in this game, and I'll be the first one to pick it up. I mean, I will pre-order this and buy this and play it, and you know, as I play all exclusives. So I think this will be very cool. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Horizon, Katana? It's a day one purchase. Nice. Yeah, I think this will be a day one purchase for me as well. Alright. So now we are at the game that I think Katana's been waiting to talk about. Same, Katana. I play all the exclusives, but I never played Spider-Man. I have Zero Dawn. I think you'd like it if you like that kind of game. But I'm like you in that I need to play Spider-Man and pick that up too. You need to play Days Gone as well. It's another exclusive you need to play that I think you would dig. Because it's open world, but it's got more horror than you would expect from an open world game. There's a lot more horror in that game than you would expect, I think. More than I expected when I played it. I was like, wow, there's actually segments where it's tense, and you've got to go through a building and sneak around and not make noise. And I mean, there's a lot of that in that game. I think you might dig. Yeah, most beautiful game in the conference. Yeah, it's a looker, man. And the first game's a looker too. So now we are at the game of the hour, which is Resident Evil 8 Village. First, I want to. Well, no, I'll just say my thoughts, and I'll hear Katana's thoughts. 1 second, I'm gonna grab something really quick. Hey, Susie. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, we're on Resident Evil 8 Village. My thoughts on Village, let me just say this first. Most of my fears of Village are, from what I've seen, have come true. Meaning that what I feared, the direction of what RE8 went to, they did. Meaning that my hopes and dreams for RE8 was the fact that they would depart from Ethan's story and Mia and all of that shit and start anew, or go back to the characters we know and love, Claire, Leon, Chris. Although Chris is in this one we saw. I'll get to that in a second. But I was hoping they would go more back to a list of characters or a group of characters that we love and know. As we saw in the trailer, that's not true. We know Ethan's back. Why? I have no fucking idea. Ethan to me is a boring character. He doesn't have anything to add to the franchise. Has nothing to add to the story or the legacy of Resident Evil. Maybe they'll flesh him out more in this game. I don't know. I'm not happy about the direction they're taking the game. Mostly. Now, let's get the negative out of the way first that I think I've seen. It looks almost identical to the tone of RE7. Dark, dank, gritty, realistically gritty, Western, non-Japanese, very Western influenced, and it looks like they're taking themselves way too seriously. That's just me. I do like the fact that they're making an emphasis on folklore. It looks like folklore is a big part of the game, which I like. I'm a big fan of folklore in general. American folklore and other cultures as well. I love reading about folklore. So it looks like ghost story kind of folklore or witch, territory. But I just wish they wouldn't fucking bring Ethan back into this, and they would detach themselves from RE7 as its own thing. We did it. It was done. Let's move on. Let's go back to the roots. Because everyone said that RE7 was going back to its roots, and I disagree. I think it went back to its roots in the sense that it was a scary game versus action-oriented games that was 4, 5, and 6. But it detached itself from its roots in the sense that, like, aesthetically, graphically, tone-wise, all of it seemed detached from Resident Evil on 7. Not a very gamey experience. It seemed very cinematic, which is fine, but I don't really see Resident Evil as necessarily a cinematic game, the franchise. I see it as cinematic in a B-movie sense and in a narrative sense at times, but it still always felt very gamey, and I like that about it. It still felt like gamey in the sense that you could go back and play it several times to get the rank that you want, that you've been working towards, or get the items that you want, whereas 7 felt like it's like a one-time thing or a two-time thing. I played through it twice. I played through it at launch, and I played through it last week on the stream, and I had fun with it, and I liked revisiting it. It was fun to revisit because I don't hate 7. 7's just not what I wanted as a fan. I think it's a good game, but we're not talking about 7. We're talking about 8. So Village is what I feared it would be, or what it looks like, what I thought it was gonna look like. I'm a little butthurt about it because we only see one character returning from the other franchise, well, from the previous games, which is Chris. And I will say this: it looks like they fixed Chris's fucking face, because Chris in RE7, that wasn't Chris. I don't know who that was at the end of the game that comes out of the chopper, but that wasn't Chris. I don't care what you say, that wasn't Chris. It looks like the person the character model they crafted for this game looks like Chris, and I appreciated that. They took some people's complaints about his look and changed that. Happy about that. But goddamn. Where's Claire? Where's Leon? Where's Rebecca? Where's Wesker? Where's all the characters have grown to love and want to see? I don't get it. Where's Barry? Where's why are we resorting to a Nolanized? When I say Nolanized, I mean Christopher Nolan Batman Begins and Dark Knight, whereas they took Batman to a very, very dark direction, which are good movies, but I don't think Nolanization, as I put it, is needed in every franchise, and certainly not Resident Evil. I think Batman needed to switch in tone, and I'm glad that it did. And I think The Dark Knight is a better movie than Batman vs Superman, obviously, but the tone and the look of Batman vs Superman nails a balance between comic book and reality. I really think that they got that aspect of it right. And I feel that way about the remakes. I feel that way about RE2 remake and RE3 remake in the sense that they're just gritty enough, but they still have that sense of fun and adventure and campiness that we know and love about Resident Evil. So the remakes of 2 and 3 really nailed that, I thought. Oh shit.
There! Grenade out and down.
Motherfucker, don't you fucking dare. Fucking trying to counter my fucking attacks with his knife. Bitch. God. Pussy. Sorry. Don't be so toxic, guys. Killed one of them, didn't I? Nice. Okay, one of them left. Jesus. What a wuss. Coming after me? They better not. Dumb move on their part. Alright, let's hear your thoughts. I'm not done talking about my thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts, Katana. And then we'll banter back and forth. Alright, let's get healed up here. Ooh. Let's go find these losers. Wait, Horizon was the most beautiful looking game, or RE8? RE8 looked pretty good. I mean, like, I will say the graphically it looks pretty fucking good. Where are you guys? But I thought you were. That guy's gonna counter me when I get this fucking trap out. He's not gonna be able to counter that.
Get back on the objective.
Lou? Talk. Oh, there we go.
Hostile spotted.
Got push to talk on. You fucking counter me, you bitch. Yeah, counter that. Asshole. Oh, look at that. Check that out. That was worth a long kill there. I don't care if I got damaged. It's worth it. Cause I'm a berserker, so I got like hella health. Woo! Good game, guys. Alright, RE8's looking phenomenal. It's what I hope for. Capcom confirmed it. It'll be a bit more action heavy than 7 was, but with the first person perspective. There will be many tense Baker encounter scenes, I think. It's really a combination of 7 and 4 to me. The European rural village is going to be far more old than being anywhere in the USA. It's going to be super gothic from what I see. Yeah, I think fans of 7 are going to love this. I think fans of 7 are going to absolutely love this. I am excited that it's going to be more action focused. I think that's a good thing. But they better tweak those mechanics, because the gun mechanics and the combat mechanics of 7 were pretty shitty. They work, but they're not fluid in any way. And I hope they tweak that. God, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's the purist in me. I just wish I missed the third person perspective. I missed the campy B-movie kind of quality. And I think Resident Evil is taking itself way too goddamn serious. Granted, it's always had a serious story, but it played it straight. But it's always been over the top. It's always been crazy over the top. And I think they're trying to ground this in the reality when they don't need to do that. You know, make it wacky, make it weird, make it Japanese, make it as fucking weird as you want it to. Don't hold back. And I think that they've been making these games so goddamn dark and broody that they're not even fun anymore. They're not even fun to play, really, and they're not fun to replay, really. I mean, I enjoyed playing RE7 again only because I hadn't played it in so long. But they're not. I don't know. They're not. They don't. Spark an interest to replay it immediately. Like when I beat RE7 last time, I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I went back to it and share my thoughts on it. But I never once after I played it want to play it again, because number one, there's no ranking system in RE7. I guess all you could do is really just beat your time, I guess. But I mean, there's no reason to go back and play it, really. Whereas you play Remake or 2 or 3 Remake, those games have ranks. And when I got done playing RE3, back in, what was it, February, or was it, I can't remember, was it April? April maybe. I wanted to play that immediately again. I wanted to go back and play it the next day, and I did. I played that game 3 times in a span of 2 days. So, I mean, these games, they're so cinematic in their design that they're not mechanically designed to be gamey enough for me to want to play them again. Now, of course, I haven't played 8. This is only first impressions, is what I'm looking at. But let's see. I don't know where it seems. I don't know. It seems a lot more fantasy, whereas 7 was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This seems like a horror novel story. I think the story looks more interesting than 7. I think it looks, like I said, I love folklore, and I love anything to do with witchcraft. You know, I don't know if it fits well in Resident Evil. I think it does make some comparisons to 4 in a sense, the village aspect and everything. I think they are harkening back and calling back to 4. How do you feel about Ethan returning? What are your thoughts on that? Because obviously, Ethan's going to play a big part in the next game, whether you're playing as him or not. I don't know. I'm gonna queue this up and then take a bathroom break really quick. Fire team. Okay.
Guerrilla forces are buying massive fuel shipments from an elusive black market contact. We're sending you in
Put
to
this
find
salad
the
up
fuel
really quick.
stores and destroy them.
There's my
Disrupt
beep
operations
talking.
in the area for the foreseeable future. Once the fuel...
Guys. Go on. All right.
Go. Good luck out there. Voodoo 1, this is Zeus. Move to location Alpha and track down the last fuel shipment.
Well, for this style of game, I think Ethan worked perfectly. He is an avatar. This is the start of what I guess will be a trilogy. On a first person, I think a character like Ethan is more... yes, you're right. You're right in the sense that for this style of gameplay, which I think is wrong for Resident Evil, but for this style of gameplay, which is the direction I've been going, that kind of character is right for this style of gameplay. My problem is I don't think that this style of gameplay is what Resident Evil needs, or what I want. I shouldn't say needs. It's not what I prefer. But because they've gone this direction, I guess I could say that this avatar-based character design works for what it's doing. So I guess they couldn't do it any other way. I would prefer to play a female, honestly, but that's just me. If we're gonna go the avatar route, I'd rather play a female. He's on my ass, and the Predator's gonna be up my ass here in a second. I gotta kill a lot of AI though, because I want to get that 5,000 Veritanium. But they're hogging all the AI kills. Oop. Somebody here. I'll get this person over here. Hello. What's this guy doing over here? What are you doing?
Heads down. Enemy spotted.
Oh. This game looks like they've got a frame rate boost in this game, actually. Plays a lot better. I'm missing one over here. Oh, I've got old painless. I didn't realize that.
Cover me.
Bingo! Nailed it in one. Alright, team, find something we can detonate the tanks with. We need something with the yield high enough to bust through the tanks.
Tell you what, this game needs more. This game needs more variety. We need more maps in this game. New game modes. New something. I mean, the challenges are nice, but we gotta have more than that. Whoa! Shit! Fuck! Whoa! Holy shit! You got me.
Team members down. Stick to the mission.
3 playable characters. Well, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. I like the idea of that. Just get away from fucking Ethan. I'm just kidding. Let me reiterate my comparison to Batman vs Superman. Or I could even do it with the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight, the Arkham games. Now I know those are games and not films, but I mean, okay, so look at the movie. The Dark Knight, right? It's very raw, it's very gritty, it's rooted in a reality that we understand, and almost too much so, because it's a fucking guy running around in a bat costume. Like, how serious do you want to make this, right? So, well, I love The Dark Knight, and I think it worked for that movie. When you look at a game like Arkham City or Arkham Asylum, those games have a great balance between darkness and cartoon and pulp, right? So, what the fuck? Where is this asshole?
Mudding up. Too broken.
those games have a great balance between pulp and pulpy action, and also serious characters that have serious motivations and characteristics.
Reloading. Cover me.
So I think, and also I think Batman vs Superman gets that balance right as well, because it's not overly serious, it's not too over gritty. It still has a level of fun to it, but you believe it enough that it still sticks as a good story and characters you can latch onto. And I felt that way about the RE2 and 3 remake and 1, that you still get a sense of fun comic fiction, while also retaining a level of real character design and good writing, you know? So, oh shit. But I think when they fall through the balls, when they make games that are over serious and over complicated, and not complicated but over serious and too straight faced and too serious, and it's like, dude, you're making a fucking game about zombies, and as wholeheartedly serious I am about my Resident Evil and how serious I take it, the games themselves don't need to be that damn serious, because it takes the fun out of it. And what's so great about the first few games, is the fact that, oh shit. That's fun. Is the fact that it's a Eastern developer making a game about a Western area, and the way and their perspective of what American culture is, and their goofy sense of humor, and their wacky story beats and stuff. That's what makes those games so great. And on top of that, what makes those games so great is the characters. Those games have great characters. And nobody in RE7, aside from the Bakers, did I find interesting at all. I couldn't care less about Mia. I mean, she's a boring, basic milquetoast character, and I just can't get down with that. I can't get with that. As much as I want to like that game, and I talk shit about it, but I will say this again: I did enjoy my playthrough of. I need some fucking help. That's a grenade. That's not good. No, get your. What the fuck? Get your goddamn health out, Jesus! I can't see because my face is in the way. I can't see whether if I have health or if I have a grenade equipped. Shit! Where are my buddies at? Oh, it's just me, isn't it? Shit! I hit him. Whoa, hey there, bud. Ah! Thought I had him there for a second. Sorry, I keep saying Nice design. I like your armor, dude. This guy's still alive. Good game, dude. Hello. It's working? Can I talk? But honestly, I don't think RE serious to the extent it's not fun as you feel it is, though. This still has puzzles that are Scream video game and over mutated monsters. Okay, okay. Let's see what I have equipped here. Yeah, let's go level this bad boy up. I do like the fact that they fixed Chris. I like the fact that they fixed his face and his look. I do like the idea of the witch being in there. I think that's a cool, interesting villain to have. And I hope they go more into Umbrella and they go more into their intentions, because one of my biggest problems with RE7 was that they waited to tell you all about the exposition of Umbrella and how it's involved into the last hour of the game. And I felt that they did a real disservice to us, because up until then, there wasn't anything story-wise really to keep me going and interested. You know, I really wanted to know more about how all is connected. In the last hour, you're just going from room to room reading these goddamn notes, and it's like, couldn't you have spread that out over a more evenly paced way? So that's just me. But I hope that they bring. I'm curious to see how the witch in the village is going to tie in to the Resident Evil universe, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really pissed off. They better tie it in somehow, but I think they will. I just hope that it's something interesting. I like the fact that it'll be more action focused. I like the fact that it does look scary, and I think Chris will play a larger role in the game. Yeah, if we get more molded, I'm done. I'm out. But you know, Megaton, I'll buy the game day one. I'll have it pre-ordered. I'll be playing this day one. I'll be all over this game. I wonder when they're gonna release it. Did they say when they're gonna release it? It won't be a launch game, I don't think. I almost hope it's not a launch game, because that would mean that it's going to be inferior in a year. it'll be a buggy game if they do it the first launch title. 2021, okay.
Fire team, drop! Go, go, go!
The length of RE3 didn't bother me that much, only because I mean, I am mad that they left out a lot of cool things in RE3, the original, but I thought that the short length actually made for a more fun replay value. But I do hate the fact that they gave us Resident Evil Resistance instead of giving us a Mercenaries mode or something to that extent. I'll get a phone call.
I don't like the sound of that. Reloading. Cut, watch my 6. Just took the potion to death.
Stick to the mission.
Frag out. Grenade out. Down. Help me.
Sorry, I got a interruption that I did not want, but that's okay. Look at RE4 though, a 12-hour game, and I already played it more times than I have in my head. More hairs in my head, yeah. No, I think I prefer a longer game, but it didn't. The short length of 3 didn't bother me that much. What bothered me more about 3 was the lack of DLC and content that they had planned. Jesus, give us a raid mode. Give us a fucking give us something other than you know, Resistance, which is just kind of a, that game's probably dead by now. You know, I mean, I don't think that game is even
requesting emergency backup of my position.
a thing anymore. Here we go. That's a cool look that he's got there. What's that? What's he wearing? What is that blue shit? Is that on purpose? Where's he at? Oh, I see him.
This way. Complete the objective. Mudding up. Watch me. Out.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Can't move.
He likes me. He's up there. Oh, that was a perfect shot too. Ah!
Focus on the mission.
Get the objective, guys. Focus on the mission, guys. I don't know if you like heist movies at all, Katana, but there's a really cool movie on Netflix right now called Den of Thieves. And it's got Gerard Butler and a few other people. But I think you might dig it if you like heist movies. If you like Heat, I think you'll like this movie. I watched it the other night, and I really enjoyed it.
Cover me.
As the power builds, the shoddy wiring should start to blow.
I have to watch other things besides horror sometimes because I just consume so much horror for the website that I have to watch other genres or I'll go crazy.
It's all of them.
That's all of them.
It just ghosted us. Must be getting rusty.
Getting rusty. Ass. Let's wait for the power. Okay, wait for the power plate. Okay. I gotta get some more AI kills, man. Whoa! This is my shit, dude. Motherfucker, come here. I'm chasing you down, bitch. Come on. Where did he go?
patched up.
French Connection, nice, dude. That is a classic.
That's all of it. With the power out, the server door lock is disengaged.
Man, we need a single-player game for this. We really do. A co-op single-player game. How cool would that be?
Compromised.
How cool would that be? Like a Call of Duty-based experience, but with Predator? Like, that'd be so dope. Wouldn't it, though? Like,
Install the surveillance package. Try to get as much coverage as you can.
what do we not do? What do we not blow up here? Oh, we gotta go over here and do this bullshit.
Hostile spotted.
Bitch.
First aid.
I'm reading the flatline. Keep it together, Voodoo.
Who died? And why did they die?
I'm done.
I'll take care of that. I'll take care of the other things here. The cameras. Oh shit.
Patch yourself up. Get patched up.
Stand by, fire team.
But yeah, Katana, if you like heist films and French Connection type things,
We're doing a little like
check out Den of Thieves.
around here.
It's free on Netflix.
I don't like the sound of that.
Direct hit. Another direct hit.
Reloading.
He's bleeding. He's bleeding out.
Somebody help me!
On top of the building.
5 team members down. Stick to the mission. Down in a bleeding bag. Oh man, I'm fucking gone.
Sacrifice myself, but maybe they'll get some shots on him.
I'm reading the flatline. Keep it together, Voodoo. Voodoo, do you copy?
So overall, I think that I'm hopeful for RE8. I think that I'll like it better than RE7. I think I'll like it significantly more than RE7. I think that I'm trying to reserve my judgment on it, although it's hard to do being a fan of anything. It's hard to, you know, stay calm. But I'm excited for it. I have the highest hopes for it. I hope that it delivers on the things that I want, which I know it won't deliver all of what I want, but I hope it delivers on some of the things I want, and I hope it delivers on what people want that like RE7, which I think it will do. I hope that whatever it does, despite what my selfish, you know, wants and checklists for it, I hope that it delivers. I hope it's the right move for Resident Evil, which I think it probably is. I hope it extends the lifespan of Resident Evil, and I hope we get a good. I hope we get a trilogy. I hope we get, you know, 7, 8, and 9. I hope is its own, you know, connective tissue of a you know, its own thread in the Resident Evil timeline. I hope it's its own thing, and I hope it fits together well. I think I'll probably be able to respect RE7 a lot more once we have 7, 8, and 9 as a trilogy to look at as its own unit, as its own thing. And then after 7, 8, and 9 are done, maybe then they'll go back to their roots and what I want to see, which is that great balance between horror, darkness, grittiness, but also campiness and you know, B-movie action fun. So that's what I hope's going to happen. Of course, I'm not here to badmouth. I'm not here to shame anybody if they like RE7. I think that RE8 looks fantastic and phenomenal. I'm not. That's not my job. My job is, I don't really have a job, but my job, what I try to do is look at something, dissect it, analyze what I've seen, and report back to you guys what I've seen, what my opinions are on it. I think it looks very along the same lines of RE7 in terms of tone, but I have hopes that it will do more of what I like in the next game, and it already seems like it's going to do more of what I like in terms of what I prefer in an RE game already. So I think that it'll be significantly better than RE7 for me. But everyone's got their own preference. Everyone has their own, you know, way that they want to see their franchise evolve, and that's the beauty of fandom, is that everyone has their own opinion about what they think should be. I was a bit let down. Silent Hill wasn't there, but I can't ask for too much. So let me ask you this: would you be upset if they dropped the 7 narrative altogether and started anew with, let's say they started back with Claire, Leon, Chris, Rebecca, Barry, and they got all those characters together for a new mission? Because that's what I want. I want a new mission with those characters back in Raccoon City, or not back in Raccoon City, but back investigating some of the things that were talked about in RE6 with Ada and everything, and not necessarily expand upon RE6's storyline, because I think that's too far away from. There's been too much time away from that game that I don't think it would be good to continue the story behind Simmons and all that kind of stuff. But I would like to see what would happen with those characters, even Helena, to see where they went next, and maybe they all got together for a mission to take down Umbrella in some way, or investigate an Umbrella sect or something. You know, I would be more interested in that game than continuing the RE7 story. Well, RE4 was not very horror. RE4 was very action focused. People love that game. People think that RE4 is probably the best game in the series. A lot of people think. You know, I mean, I think you can do. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky because Resident Evil was born a horror game first and foremost. But that being said, I still really like the action-focused bombasticness of 5 and 6. You know, I think the action-focused Resident Evil and the horror-focused Resident Evil can coexist, being that like 6 is very action-focused, 7's not, more horror-focused. I think there should be both styles. You know, with each new game, and I think you can still have a level of consistency. But I don't know. I'd be a lot happier if they did a Resident Evil game over the shoulder, third person, horror based, with little action. If they were to do like an RE4 type game with some action, with a lot more action but still horror, because I think that game struck a good balance between horror and action. Yeah, it was the right blend. I agree. It was the exact right recipe of ingredients to make a good horror action game. And that's what I want from a Resident Evil game. I want a game that is over the shoulder, third person, a good amalgamation of horror and action, kind of balanced, be perfect together, and be a synergetic experience. That's what I want out of a Resident Evil game, and of course having our favorite characters, because in my opinion what makes Resident Evil so great, aside from the tone and aesthetic of the original games, is the characters. And if the characters aren't there, then I'm not there, and I'm not there in my mind and in the sense that I'm excited about it. You know, I can't get excited about a Resident Evil game if it's not going to give me the characters I know and love. That sounds short-sighted, and I'm sure that it is, but at the same time, that's what I love about Resident Evil, are the characters. And if they're not going to be my game, then I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to play it, and I'm glad Chris is back, looking like Chris, but I'm still let down at the end of the day, you know, as a fan. But we'll see. We're gonna play it. I'm gonna play it day one. I'm gonna stream the whole thing. Probably gonna do a non-stop stream of it. Play the entire thing, start to finish, in one sitting. And we'll go all over all of that when it happens. And here's the thing. I think I'm gonna like RE8. I just don't think I'm gonna like it as much as you, Katana. But I think I am gonna like it, and I think I'm gonna prefer it over RE7. But that's gonna be about it, guys. I'm gonna wrap things up here. Katana says, "I love the characters, but let them have their moment per game. I much prefer to see Claire." Oh, I love Claire. Claire's my favorite character in Resident Evil, period. Claire and Rebecca are my favorites. Yeah. Oh no. Don't compare Spider-Man 3 to RE6. Come on. I don't know. For me, I guess it does feel like fan service in some ways, but I feel like it felt sincere to me. It felt genuine. It did feel like a legitimate, genuine Resident Evil Raccoon City reunion. And they even say that in the game. You know, it's a big Resident Evil Raccoon City reunion, which I love. And it is fan service, and maybe I eat that up like candy, but I don't know. I completely respect your opinion on it, because I think you have a very good point. I just don't think that I wish it wasn't as dark. And I'm not saying that because I want a lighthearted Resident Evil story. I just don't think Resident Evil needs to be so goddamn serious and so realistic and so gritty. I think there's wiggle room for it to be a bit more ham, you know. But that's just me, and I know I'm alone, in my opinion, at least in the majority. There are people that like me. They do exist. I've talked to them. People like me that like the direction that RE6 went, but there's not a lot of them out there. One of the best videos I've ever seen, analysis I've ever seen, is when this YouTube guy named the Brit Gamer, he did his take on RE6 and said why RE6 is great, and went over this whole hour-long, 45-minute-long tangent about why he thought RE6 was great. And I recommend that any of you that are interested, not trying to change your opinion, but any of you that are interested in watching somebody defend RE6 besides me, check out that video. It's matter of fact, well, I've got you here, Katana. I don't think anybody else is in here, but well, I've got you here, Katana. Let me go ahead and pull that up really quick. Actual size. Let's see. The Brit Gamer. RE6. Yeah, it's called. Oh, it's only 12 minutes, but why RE6 is awesome. And I recommend anybody that has the opinion that RE6 sucks, watch this. Not to change your mind, but just to maybe it'll help articulate what I'm trying to say. Because this guy does a really good job of articulating my thoughts on the series and why we like RE6 so much. So check that out if you get a chance, people. It really is a well-constructed video about RE6 and that opinion, that side of things. By no means is this me attempting to change your mind, because I know Katana won't change his mind on RE6. So, not trying to do that. But what matters here is that Katana and I are both big fans of the franchise, both big fans of horror. We both love it. We both are passionate about it, and we're passionate about gaming. We're passionate about the progress of gaming and what's coming next. And we're all excited about PS5. I know I am. Katana's asking me to, before I leave, to share my thoughts on the PS4 console design and what price I expect it to be. Thank you for reminding me to do that. So what I understand is that there's two consoles. So there is the digital console, which is going to be basically just a big hard drive and a big processor with no disk drive. And the other one is the same thing, but with a disk drive. So I'm a little bit weird on this, because I'm surprised that they didn't go with complete diskless console. So are they going to make it to where it's backwards compatible with PS4 discs? Or are they just going to make it, are they going to still make PS5 games disc form? I don't know. I mean, granted, I'm the number one proponent of physical content. I love physical content. I still buy DVDs. I still buy Blu-rays. I still buy games in physical form from time to time. So I like that. I don't know if they're going to make the price different on the disc versus the digital. We'll get there in a second. I'm probably going to buy the digital design, because as much as I love physical media, guys, it's dying. Okay, 2 years from now, you're going to look at that disc drive in your PlayStation 5 and never use it, most likely. I probably won't. It's like the last MacBook that I had, besides before the one I have now, which is MacBook Air, had a disc drive. And the first 2 years, I used that disc drive. But then after that, when discs became obsolete, that thing was an extra thing attached to my computer that I didn't need. And I think the same thing is going to be for PS5. You can still buy discs and put them in your PlayStation and PS5 discs, because I'm pretty sure they will produce PS5 discs. But I think, I don't know. If the here's the thing for me. If the PS5 disc version has 4K Blu-ray compatibility, I'm definitely going to go with the PS5 disc system. If there's no Blu-ray capability, 4K Blu-ray capability, and it's only just going to be a DVD player and Blu-ray player, look, I've got 6 Blu-ray players in this house. I don't need another Blu-ray player. But if it's a 4K Blu-ray player, I do have one of those. This would be a second 4K Blu-ray player if there's a drive in there to do it, and I would want that. But there's not a 4K Blu-ray player in it. Probably not going to buy a disc console. And that's not me just hating on physical media, because I love physical media. I still buy DVDs, like I said. I still buy Blu-rays all the time. I still have a big library of physical media that I refuse to throw away. I still collect DVDs. Just the other day, I got one in the mail that I ordered. I ordered the Hackers 20th Anniversary Edition on Blu-ray, and I love that. I love discs. I love sticking in a movie and a disc and a Blu-ray and listen to a DVD commentary or looking at special features. You know, I love it, and it's also the best way to watch movies still. Streaming have gone a long way, but discs, Blu-ray discs, are still the most crisp way to watch films in their best possible state for home entertainment. You can't get any better than that. Disc is still the way to go. But if it doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray drive, I'll probably get the digital version. Just because, look, we're entering a new age. I can still play all my Blu-rays and everything on my Blu-ray player, my 4K Blu-ray player. I've got plenty of DVD players. I don't need a disc drive in my PlayStation, because I'll tell you this, I probably won't buy any disc-based PS5 games, because I don't do that now anymore. I don't buy disc games now with my PS4 very often. Sometimes I do if there's a special edition that I want that has a disc, but very, very rarely now do I ever do that. It's always usually just digital based now for me with games. Easier to store, easier to pull up, easier to everything, you know. But I still do love physical media. I just don't think it's, you know, it's gonna become it will become unnecessary if there's no 4K Blu-ray drive for me to purchase the disc-based console. So for me, it will become pointless. So I'll probably go digital on that. Just being real with you guys. But I think the design looks good. I think it looks very sexy. I love the white design. Although I do kind of wish it was black, just because I love the black, classic black PlayStation design of the last two consoles. But or three consoles, PS2, PS3, and PS4 are all, their base console models are black. So I do kind of miss that, but I think the console itself looks really neat. The controller, I think, looks great. People were bitching about the controller. My buddy locally here was bitching about the controller, how it looked bad. I think it looks great. I think it looks a lot beefier and heavier than the PS4 controller, which we all know is kind of a not the best controller design, but it works. Battery life, I hope is much stronger, which I think it will. I know it will be much stronger and longer lasting with the PS5 controller. But yeah. I think it looks great. I want to know more about the camera with the console. I want to know more about that. Is that included in the package when you buy it? Is that something included? And if so, I want the details on the broadcast, because as a streamer, I want to know what the capabilities that the PlayStation has. That way I can know if I'm going to utilize the PS5 to continue streaming, or if I'm going to buy a computer to stream from that with the PlayStation. So it all just depends on what the capabilities of it are. I'm thinking the PS5 will have much more customization options and much more broadcast options than the PS4, and it will probably be enough for me to stick with using the PS5 to stream, rather than going all the way over to OBS and Twitch and using those layouts and stuff like that, overlays. I'll probably use whatever the PlayStation has to offer me. But I'm really curious about the features that's going to have, for sure. So overall, I'm impressed with the conference. I think they showed a lot of cool stuff. I don't think I saw enough gameplay. I mean, but that's expected. We're still early on. The console released for a while, so I think I am disappointed they didn't give the price. I think that's pretty criminal. They didn't give a price. I think they should have done that. I don't know why they didn't do that, or if they haven't made their mind up on it. I don't know, but I wish they would have given us a price. My prediction is that the disc version of the console will be $500, and the digital console will be $400. That's my guess. Katana, what do you think, man? Price points for both consoles. Sorry, Microsoft, for playing cat and mouse. It's always a risk to be the first one to drop an official price. Other price can match and beat the opposition. That's true. It's a good point. But I think they're usually always pretty similar in price. I mean, although the PS3 when that came out was like, what, that was like $700, I think it was. That was an outrageous price when that came out. $700, my god. Just fucking insane. $45 or 450 pounds is what in be around 500, I think, maybe, in US dollars. yeah, our currencies are completely different. But yeah, in US dollars, I think we're going to be seeing 500 for the disc-based console, and then for the digital console, base console, you're going to see 400 for that. So 500 and 400, or it could be 450 and 500. But I don't think they're going to do a $50 gap. I think they'll do at least a 100 gap between the two consoles. I think 50 is too much of a slim window there. So those are my thoughts on it. But who knows? We'll find out sooner or later. Hopefully sooner. And that way we can restore our consoles and get ready to plug that sucker in. I'll tell you what, I am pumped beyond belief to get my hands on a PS5. I can't fucking wait. Can't wait. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it. If you have remained in the chat and checked us out tonight, I really appreciate you. It means a lot to me that you guys show up and share your support and share your thoughts. It's always fun for me to do this and engage with you. And I know that Katana's the only person in the chat right now. But that's okay. It's kind of a not my usual stream with the inclusion of a discussion rather than strictly gameplay. But I feel like it was necessary and relevant and important to do a discussion on the PS5, considering the conference was today. So I was glad to be able to do that and happy to do that. I did just post the rest of the weekly schedule. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. It's posted now on Twitter. I'll post on Discord as well. And we're looking at tomorrow night, 7 p.m. and we are looking at Saturday. We're looking at that being at around 11 p.m. CST, and then Sunday we're off. And then Sunday I'll release the schedule for the following week, so that you'll be able to have that. So yeah, tomorrow night 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday 11 Central Standard Time, and then Sunday we're off. So yeah, and we will continue the Evil Within tomorrow night. We are gonna play that until we complete it, and we may do some bonus streams of Predator Hunting Grounds. But for the base scheduled streams, we're looking at doing Evil Within, strictly Evil Within. So no more Hunting Grounds for the scheduled streams. For the bonus streams and the unscheduled streams, like for example, we're not scheduled to stream on Sunday, but if I get a chance to do it, probably play Hunting Grounds as if I have time. But for all the scheduled streams coming up for this week and next week, it's all Evil Within. Yeah, man, thanks, Son. I appreciate you coming by as always, man, and being a moderator and being a good friend and being respectful. I can't tell you how many times I come into contact with people, whether in the real world or on the internet, that just don't know how to respect someone's opinion on things. And Katana's always been very, very thoughtful and considerate and respectful of our differences. But the truth of the matter is we agree on a lot of stuff. Katana and I both agree on a lot of core fundamentals of gaming, and our taste is very similar in a lot of ways. We differ on some of the Resident Evil stuff, but I think we have a lot of the same opinions on a lot of the games in the franchise and other games as well. So it's always great to have you on the stream as a moderator and as a friend and a fan of games to talk to and kind of converse our thoughts together. I really enjoy doing that. So thanks for being here. And yeah. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, comment below. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, consider hitting that like button down there and then that sub button as well. And we stream 5 times a week minimum. We sometimes can do more, but 5 times usually minimum per week. And so again, like I said, we're doing Evil Within 1 and 2. Those are the 2 main games this month that we're focusing on. And then of course we play Predator Hunting Grounds for bonus streams, as I'm calling them bonus rounds now. I call them bonus rounds. And we're doing that when we do unscheduled streams. So like again, for example, if I'm not scheduled to stream on Sunday, but let's say I get a chance to stream, you know, maybe something cancels, or I have a window of time where I can stream and I want to stream, I'll get on here and do a couple rounds of Hunting Grounds. But again, all scheduled streams to come for this next couple weeks are going to be Evil Within 1 and 2. So that'll be a lot of fun. Like, subscribe. If you are interested in Discord, definitely let me know. I'll send you a link if there's not one already in the description already. I'll send you a link to Discord. That way you can get involved in that. We're just a bunch of nerds in this community that like to talk about games and film and nerd out together. So if that sounds like something you want to do, we welcome you to Discord, and we'd love to have you there. We love new people and want to grow this family. You know, I'm amazed at how much I've been able to grow this community with the help of the people involved, because it's been my dream for a long time to have a community of people that like games and get to hang out and converse and make friends with one another, and that's really awesome. So thanks to everyone who has been instrumental in that process, and that includes you, Katana. We want to grow this thing and snowball it and keep it going. So if you like what you see here, I'm glad, and hope to see you in the Discord chat, and hope to see you on the next stream. Otherwise, guys, that's it. I will be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with the 2014 classic survival horror game, The Evil Within. And yeah, we will continue that and frustratingly get through Nightmare Mode together and kick some ass. So, guys, thanks so much again. Have a great night. You guys are the best of the best. And I will see you on the next stream. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.